Hello, welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen. The encounter is just about to begin. Royal will kick off. Rimzi Jamaldeen, the skipper, will be taking the kick off. St. Peter's with 2 consecutive victories behind them coming into this game. Royal, on the other hand, had a shocking loss against Science, but they made amends against Kinswood last week.
Captain!
And everything to play for both these teams. Referee Kodagoda gives the go ahead. Jamaldeen kicks deep.
Get back! Advantage, play on!
Royal turn it over. Number 8 break. Tries to drive in early pressure from Royal College.
Last boot!
A pick and go, a forwards game that Royals are renowned for. Gives it out to the line. Jamaldeen tries to step his way through. 1 tackle. Cannot avoid the second, taken down. Still Royal ball. Gives to the centre. So the outside wing 3, number 14.
Rock ball! Tackle! Last boot!
Still it's Royal ball. Driving forward, the hefty forwards.
Last boot!
And your host Shana Kamarasinghe is here. Will hand it over to him to take you through this game. Over to you, Shanaka.
Rock ball!
Thanks, Shasum. Sorry about that delay. Logistical nightmare getting to the St. Peter's grounds, but once you get in here, it's pretty good. Royal versus Peters, big clash. A hoodoo team for St. Peter's in the past, and St. Peter's the early contenders for the title, of course, because they've won handsomely in the last couple of games. Look, a very strong team, but up against another strong team in Royal. Physically look well conditioned. There's one slip up against Science College that Royal had, and this Peterite team have looked very, very good. But penalty under the posts for Royal College. And without any hesitation, Captain Rimzi Jamaldeen stepping up with the kicking tee. Should be bread and butter for him. And getting some early points on the board against his St. Peter's team will set the cat among the pigeons, because, as you know, it has been a real hoodoo team for St. Peter's Royal. Even though they've won titles, they have lost to Royal on several occasions where they should have won, where they have been favourites. And that is something that will be playing on a lot of these players' minds, although many of these players have not been part of those losing teams, so it might not really affect them that much. Jamaldeen, with his kicking tee imported all the way from England, refuses to kick with anything else. Royal captain looking to make early inroads out of the scoreboard. And amid the cheers of a section of the Peterite crowd, he puts it across, and that's the first blood for the Royalists, the visiting team, in the blue and yellow. Looking very good in the start, knowing that they have pretty much got their entire pack handling the ball, taking on St. Peter's up front, knowing that St. Peter's like that expansive game, trying to slow the ball down and play it at their pace and frustrate them. Oh, a massive hit there on the Royal hooker. That was Mutalif who got crunched, but still good possession for Royal. And it was a good clearance by Rimzi Jamaldeen under the circumstances. He was under pressure on his left side, so he had to go right, and it was the very difficult kick to make, because he had to go more than half the field across the pitch, which meant he had to find touch, and he did it, so relieve some sort of pressure for his team. But St. Peter's have the ball in a very good attacking position here. Overthrown by St. Peter's. That's not a good. It's not a good start for the Peterite hooker. they have been a little bit wanting in the recent past, especially some of their champion teams have had a little bit of a problem in the set piece, in the scrum and the line out. They've been wanting in technique there, haven't really been able to outperform schools who are traditionally good in the line outs and scrums, such as Trinity and Royal. So that's something that will be a telling factor here today. How the referee referees the scrums as well will be an issue. Here we go. This is the start of the contentious point. What's the referee going to say to them here? Not really sure. He didn't make too many signals, but that hit looked to have been won by Royal College. So it's a knock-on ball at the back of the line out for Royal. So it's St. Peter's ball in very, very advantageous attacking position. You look to set the threes free here. So that's decent ball for the Pete Wright number 8, Anuradha Herath. Spun out wide. That's a good overlap. Fantastic pass out by the Pete Wright to the right winger. Still going. It's on the line. They've got the ball, still sniping on the short side, but Royal managing to bundle them out. There was good defense, superb first phase play. Absolutely very good ball movement there by Virakkodi. Saw Jerome coming in on the inside. He looped around. BDM Pereira looped around him, and that was Kevin Dixon who formed the overlap, the fullback, and just falling short of the line. So desperate defense by the Royal College team, holding out, but in the early minutes of this game, if you're going to be that much under the cosh, it doesn't augur well for them. Taken nicely in the line-out this time, rolling the ball. It's still not gone to ground, so St. Peter still have the put. That's a good run there by Herath, but aggressive defense by Royal College. A nice short pass there to the on-rushing forward in the pack. Good ball once again for the Pete Wrights. Superb defense by the Royal College defender there. Beautifully done. That was Udavatta, I think, coming out of the defensive line. It was a risky move, but he did it brilliantly. Some superb phase play here by St. Peter's. Great quick ball, but they spill it. And gratefully lapped up by Devin De Silva. And it was a really good passage of play there by St. Peter's. Getting quick ball a lot, setting it up, continuity, good phases. They just need to look for a chink in this Royal defense. And if they're patient, if they play this game, that chink will definitely come. So there's been a penalty given by the referee. Not sure what that was for. That's Charit Kodagoda. Had a new haircut, Charit. And it's a sensible move by St. Peter's. They sent the message to Royal. They were in their 22, camped in their 22, put them under real pressure, and they will want to go back with points. There's no point in trying to score a try and going back with nothing. You might as well convert pressure into points early on in the game, and that's good thinking by the Pete Wright players. But somehow it goes awry, and on his home grounds, the gust of wind just picking up here at the St. Peter's grounds. A kick wide by the Pete Wright winger. That was Direx, I believe it was, who made that kick, and Royal have the 22 dropout. They will want to settle it. Rimzi Jamaldeen talking to his players, telling them where he's going to kick it, taking his time about it. And predictably he goes long. That was Jerome actually who made the kick. Swings it across the field. Good continuity there to Anuradha Herath. He's the danger man running the ball for St. Peter's. Herath sets it up nicely. Good quick ball for the Pete Wright forwards. That's good defense by the big number 3. That's Chamira for Royal. But Peters still have it. Good ball retention from them. Gone back in the gain line. Those are good aggressive defense by Royal College, pushing them back. This is ball again for Virakkodi. Once again, the Royal defense equal to the task. And the referee says hands in the ruck. Unclear why they'd want to put hands in the ruck there. They're attacking in their own half. They're in the pit right half, and they really must keep their discipline here, Royal, if they are to win this game. They're not going to win this game by actually giving away any possession to the pit rights. So that's a succession of penalties that have been awarded against Royal. They'll be unhappy about that because it means that their discipline is suffering. It also means that Peters have a chance for free points. Taken back into the 22, was it? That's an interesting call. Thought that was taken back into the 22, but probably actually taken in the 22. Sorry, my mistake. Royal will want to slow it down, which is exactly what they do. St. Peters will want to win clean ball here. They got a good one the last time around. They mauled that one almost to the try line. So probably go with what works. But another horrid throw from the pit right hooker. Abesekara will have to sort this one out. But closing the gap, says the referee. This is Virat Kohli once again. Good tackle in midfield. Royal defense has been good. That was Jamaldeen himself who made the tackle. Not 10 meters, says the ref. And he will go back because there's no advantage. Thought St. Peters had good advantage there. But the referee choosing to bring it back, and instead of the short tap, they opt for the scrum. Now this is a good move from St. Peters because they know that bringing all 8 into the scrum means there's a lot more room for their wide out runners. We've seen Jerome and Virat Kohli combine well with quick ball from the scrum half. Let's see what BMD Pereira can do here, coming in on the loop. He's got his thigh heavily strapped up. Early engagement from Royal College. This is again terrible discipline. Nicely taken by St. Peters, always wanting to speed the game up. Good aggressive defense by Royal College once again. You can see this is what they've been working on all of last week. Virat Kohli to Jerome. Jerome steps inside, but up to the mark is Devin De Silva. And good defense from Royal College, forcing the knock on there. And good game it has been so far. Here we see Jerome trying to step in, but good tackle there by his opposite number, Devin De Silva. And Azman Khan also helping his centre partner out there in that tackle and forcing the knock on. So Royal will be happy to have the ball with them. They haven't had much ball in a while. And they look like they will want to settle this one down and give it to Rimzi Jamaldeen to find good touch. Early engagement, says the referee. This is an interesting call. Ball goes to Abesekara, the hooker. Tries to rumble it forward. Good quick ball once again for St. Peters. Actually, this is Abesekara, the hooker. Don't know who the last one was. Abesekara thumped on his back again. Wonderful tackle. The feature really has been the tackling by Royal College. Going straight to ground, says the referee. Off your feet in the tackle, says the ref, as we see Anjana rushing off to the try line. St. Peters taking everything quickly. Anuradha Hera. This is Virat Kohli. But good aggressive defense once again from Royal College. Rimzi Jamaldeen chasing like a terrier after that ball. This is the big Royal forwards in it once again. This is a helter-skelter game. Fantastic rugby to watch. Superb ball continuity once again. BMD Pereira puts the kick up. Bang goes the recipient. Ranavira not liking the attentions of BMD Pereira. Nice little up and under, and before he got it, BMD Pereira clattered into him. But Ranavira going in and telling Pereira exactly what he thought of him. Couldn't have been very complimentary. Referee Krodha has got a little technical in this game, especially with the scrum. It's something that Royal will have a distinct advantage in, I'm sure. So let's see how this scrum goes. Could be a telling feature in this. That hit was won nicely by St. Peters. Anuradha Herath off the back to his scrum half, De Silva. Sanvira Kodi not getting good ball there. So the aggressive defense by Royal College really interrupting the patterns of the Peterites. I don't think they expected a defense that was so fast and hard in their faces. And I really must say the Royal defense has been outstanding today. They've come in off the defensive line. They're working a rush towards the outside backs. It's called an umbrella defense. Running up very fast, but even their forwards, that has been the feature of the fringes, have been very, very quick to come up in defense. And that's the free kick once again, and this can't continue all day. The referee can't be giving free kicks every scrum, and especially when he gives the free kick in the scrum, the Royalists call for another one. So it's going to be a fast this evening if this is not sorted out in the front rows, because the scrum is an integral part of the contest for the ball here in Rugby Union and Rugby Union 15s, and it's something that Royal will consider a weapon for them. So St. Peter's will be very happy to short tap all day, Royal will not. So this is something the referee really needs to balance. Scrum half Pereira for Royal. Waits. That was picked up there at the back by KAPS Pereira for Royal. Doesn't make too much of a gain, but he has the ball still. So Jamaldeen will be able to kick with an offside line in front of him. Jamal predictably thumps the ball up. Nicely taken by Direx. The outside backs trying to spring into action here. But once again, a good chase by Royal. Coach Bilal Yusuf will definitely have coached this chase very well. He understands the importance of the chase. Nicely taken by the Royal College fullback Banuka. Forwards back there in support. They pick and drive. Pereira marshalling his outside halves. Puts in the box kick himself. That's good thinking from Pereira. He knows that the winger had come up, but unfortunately for him, he's overcooked it and he has to come all the way back. It was the right tactic, just bad execution from him. So that's a shame for Royal College. St. Peter's really have been camped in this Royal College half, putting them under immense pressure. The Royal backs haven't seen the colour of the ball for about a good 10 minutes now. And that's something that would be upsetting for them. But one thing that won't be upsetting is the fact that they're ahead on the scoreboard. It's a good loop around, but shielding, says the referee. Ball carrier, that's Herath, I believe it was, who ran around his big forward who passed him the ball. Jamaldeen again will want to slow this one down a little. Rimzi Jamaldeen kicks very side on. Didn't really see much of him last season because he wasn't really involved too much with Jamaldeen doing a lot of the kicking. But kicks very side on, a little bit more open chested, might give the ball a little bit more distance. But somehow he manages to protect the ball as well when he kicks side on like this. It'll be interesting to see what they do here, Royal, if they win this ball. And they go short. And it doesn't go 5 meters, says the referee. Yes, it's not gone the 5, so there we see it. The number 1 for Royal, that was Hanifa. Just overstepped his mark. You've got to be very disciplined when you do these 5 meter lineouts. Must make sure the ball travels the 5 meters, or the short lineouts rather. Let's see how the Royal defense sorts itself out here. We can see Rimzi Jamaldeen has actually moved into the centers in the defense. And we see Azman Khan standing in the first receiver position, probably to counter the onrush of Anuradha Herath. So you've moved in your biggest, strongest defender into the first receiver position. That's good thinking from Royal. Azman Khan, Devin De Silva are the first two. This is Anuradha Herath. He was tackled first time by the Royal 7. That was good work by AK Piris. Royal now break with the ball. Superb defense once again. Good ball retention from Royal. Final foray into the St. Peter's half here. Devin De Silva waiting with his hands on his hips. He knows he won't be seeing the color of it for a while. Well, he gets it now. He's isolated and his backs will have to help him out here. Nicely picked up there by Jamaldeen. The offload is good to Pereira, the scrum half. Pearce has to pick it up. They double up. This is good work by Royal College. They know that they can't afford to swing it wide again, so they'll set it up. They'll be patient. Pereira waits for it. He calls out to Jamaldeen, so it looks like he'll go wide this time. But the line is offside. The line is offside, and Abesekara goes in with a little bit of argy-bargy, which the Royalists don't seem to like very much. Actually, this is something that the referee will want to confer with his touch judge. Kotwegedara. Gives Abesekara a bit of a talking to, and his captain as well. Penalty for Royal, and instead of going for points, we have Royal kicking to the corner, so they're confident with their line out, and they think they might just get some action here, the Royalists. The line out hasn't been good, but I'm sure they'll have some sort of ploy plan for this. Not a great camera angle for Nage to work with, but Royal had overthrown it. But a good aggressive tackle there. St. Peter's throw the ball over their own deadline. And that's the pressure, so Royal come back to an even more attacking position with a 5-meter scrum. This is the replay here. They lose the ball, but the scrum half under enormous pressure puts it over the head of his fly half, Virat Kohli. And Jerome there on the right of your screen, not too happy with the efforts of his forwards there. So let's see what the number 8 can do here. Pereira, KAPS Pereira at the back of the scrum for Royal. He's a big lad, and he's got some good ball this time. 8-9 combination. And that was a good planned move from Royal College with the fullback coming into the line. This is Muthalif. Muthalif rumbles it forward. This is the other prop forward, Hanifa. So Royal really carrying the ball through their front row nicely. They won't go wide, that's for sure. They'll keep it with them. And the referee says it's a penalty to St. Peter's. So St. Peter's will be very happy with that defensive effort for them. They take it and run it. Now this is not great tactics from St. Peter's. They need to get some composure. And they should really have put that ball into touch. But here we go. Yes, wonderful work by the Peterite number 22. That's Direx. He's going all the way under the posts. Oh dear. Shocking work by Royal. Really bad work by Royal in defense. Here we see the winger coming forward, trying to go for the ball, thinking it's going to go out. Direx, it's going straight into his hands, and he has an easy run under the post, but no chance for Bhanuka to catch him there. And he touches down in front of an ecstatic crowd behind the goalpost for St. Peter's. But a lack of concentration there for the Royal College team. That was not sure who that was chasing back for Royal, but thought the ball was going out, and you can't take anything for granted. Direx was really lucky. The ball bounced into his pocket almost, and he just took it and ran with it, as wingers love to do. Jerome running away from the Royal College defense, or so it looked, but he was just taking it to the correct spot. And 7 points to 3, St. Peter's lead at home here to Royal College. And that was a 95-meter try. It came out of nothing. Very much an opportunistic try there by the right winger, Direx for St. Peter's. Royal putting them under the cosh, almost scoring under the posts of St. Peter's, and with a kick chase, they did brilliantly well and managed to score one of those breakaway tries that break the heart of the team that has been attacking for so long. So St. Peter's making all the play in the first half so far. Royal with a few advents into the St. Peter's half, but their defense for Royal really has been outstanding. This one goes out and they might want to take it quickly, but think better of it. Pereira. That was Ranavira who was at fault for all in the last try. He really should have done better. At least push the opposition player out with the ball. But that didn't happen. So Mutalif waits, trying to get one back quickly for all. They know if they concede a lead in this first half, that they will concede confidence and pressure to St. Peter's as well. But again, an error at the front of the line out for Royal. Veerasurya not doing well at the front. And Pereira bumping off one tackle, breaking another, making yards. This is Jerome. Jerome hands it out to his winger. That's Ranchigoda on that wing. Great defense once again by Royal, getting the cover across quickly, but they've got a man down in back play. We'll see who that is in a moment. The big forward slowing things down. This is Herat. Good ball once again for Peters. They've got options out wide. Pereira runs across, gives it to Jerome. Jerome gives it to Dixon coming in off the line. He breaks one tackle and he steps another and he's going all the way. That's a wonderful try by Kevin Dixon. Superb angular run. That was outstanding work. Look at this pass. It's a nice outside pass. Everybody thinks he's going on the outside, but Dixon steps in off his right foot, steps once, steps twice, and changes the angle of the attack so beautifully that the entire defense was caught napping, as was the referee, who had to turn around and run the other way to award that try. A brilliant piece of individual work from Kevin Dixon, but good hands before him from De Silva, Virat Kohli and Pereira, who made that ball available. Lots of space on the outside that Royal were running to cover, and all Dixon had to do was step in and step two defenders. Lovely little side step. They were both wrong-footed, and under the post he goes, just a bit to the left hand of the posts, and a wonderful try from Dixon. This is Jerome trying to convert Royal's second try in a few minutes. Peter's second try in a few minutes actually, and that's his best kick of the day. So 14 points to 3, 2 tries in quick succession, breaking the back of that Royal defense. They've been so good up to now, and it's come from the outside backs. Both errors have come off the back three, who haven't been positioned well in defense, who don't seem to have that experience in defense. Once again, Ranavira's wing, that's the one that they went through on, stepping inside of Ranavira. And Dixon going all the way. A good run from Dixon, but good continuity once again from this entire Peters team. 1 through 15, they have been outstanding with the ball in hand. Kick to Rodrigo. Rodrigo knocks it forward. Playing advantage is a ref. Good ball from Pereira to Jamaldeen. Jamaldeen looking to run it. This is Devin De Silva in off his line. The ball stolen there by St. Peter's. That looks suspiciously illegal, but Jerome puts the dummy in. This is Ranchigoda. Ranchigoda's got space. He's also got a couple of defenders to attend to him, but good continuity once again from St. Peter's. Nicely picked up. Going straight to ground, says the referee. Ball seemed to be available for St. Peter's, and he might have considered a little bit of advantage there, but good work from Ranchigoda on that left wing, and his scrum half following up. That's De Silva. De Silva offloading that ball nicely. So thinking about what to do here, they're 14-3 up. All the momentum is with them. St. Peter's, I don't know what they've got to think about. They all need to do is go to the corner or short, tap it and run, because the Royalists are with their hands on their hips. They've lost concentration, and if they run at them now, I reckon they would score. But they're going for the line out. Man down in back play. That's the man who made all those yards, Ranchigoda, I believe. scrum, says the referee, so it was a penalty, but St. Peter's have gone for the scrum, and you can see this is a ploy that they're using to great effect. They want to suck in all those big Royal forwards, make sure they're not scattered around the park making those big hits. Instead, they want them bound in the scrum to give the outside backs, those speedy outside backs, some room to run in. This is a good ploy by St. Peter's, playing to their strengths. Good work from Peiris the last time to collar Anuradha Herath, who I believe will take it on this time as well. Here he goes. Peiris gets his man once again. Well done. Anuradha swings it out to Pereira. Pereira has so many options and finds Dixon coming back, who dances his way out of the first tackle. Manages to offload to Pereira once again. Pereira shows and goes. Nice little inside ball to Directs. Lovely offload from Pereira, who seems to have been watching Danushka Ranjan in action for St. Peter's for several years now, and he's learnt from him. Good work there by Pereira, involved in that move at least 3 times, trying to get Directs away, and then before that he tried to get Dixon away. To see all the Burger lads in the line for St. Peter's hasn't been the case for a while, but looks like parity has been restored. Directs, Jerome, Dixon. You're with us live here on TheScore.lk, streaming all the games to you live. Royal stealing it this time at the top of the line out. Was Veera Surya, good work from him. They're setting it up, and we'll give Jamaldeen some options to work with. But it's charged down, so everybody's on side. This is the big prop, thundering it forward. That was Anjana. Good ball once again for Abesekara. Abesekara squeezes the ball back. Royal had an option to get that. That was Herath. Herath swinging it out to Directs. Directs stays on his feet well. Pereira has it again. This is good work by the big forward standing in at first receiver. But he was thumped in the tackle, which forced a knock on. There's a big prop once again for St. Peter's, J.M. Rodrigo, as we see him getting clattered in a good tackle from the second row who made the steal for all. That was Veera Surya. So it has been a very good game. There's been some outstanding quickly taken there by Pereira. Jamaldeen. Jamaldeen steps and tries to get across. Royal doubling up in attack. They'll pick and go. They'll do this all day if they can. Jamaldeen puts it predictably once again to his boot. Dixon and Ranchigoda both converge upon it. Ranchigoda gets it after a bit of juggling. This is Dixon once again, but he drops the ball in his exuberance to break the tackle. But still very dangerous work there from the Pete Wright fullback. Long blast from referee Kodagoda. Let's see what he says. Yes, it's a penalty for Royal, not releasing the ball. Anuradha, that's actually BMD Pereira who went down. Pete Wright player on the deck in back play. Can't see a number to say who he is, but Virat Kohli bending over him, obviously with concern. Jerome and BMD Pereira walk up to inspect the damage. It has been an outstanding game so far, despite the fact that Royal have been severely outscored, 14 points to 3. Doesn't mean that they haven't been competitive. It was just 2 moments of brilliance from the Pete Wright backline in the face of some very shoddy defense from the left winger for Royal College. I must say Ranavira has not been up to the mark. No wonder the boys were huddled over him looking concerned, because it is their danger man, Anuradha Herath. But it will take a container truck to stop this lad. He played with a shoulder injury most of last season, with his shoulder pretty much hanging off his body. And I'll be damned if he allows himself to be stopped here. But he's up and everybody's happy. Everybody, that is, except the Royal team. Jamaldeen waiting for the referee to say time on once again. Referee going up to the Peter Wright bench and having a word with Colin Denish, who is the coach. Obviously spotted something he doesn't like, saying, Colin, sort it out, otherwise I will give you a yellow card. Time on, says the ref, and Jamaldeen is ready to go. Good kick from Rimsey, finding some nice touch. Will give his forwards some confidence, but his forwards haven't been good on their own ball in the line out. They did steal the last one off St. Peter's, but doesn't mean that it means anything. Muthalif will have to make sure he gets his throw right and the timing right for the jumpers. Options at the back. They go to the front. That was nicely done by Veerasurya there. They maul it. Peter's getting away with coming in at the side. It's still going forward, so they don't have to use it. Truck and trailer, says the referee. Oh, that was a harsh call. I've got to say, I'm not a huge fan of criticizing referees, but that was a harsh call. St. Peter's really under the caution, that rolling maul. I thought Royal had worked it in an exemplary fashion, but truck and trailer is the call. And the penalty for shielding, which is the offence, running an obstruction rather. And the scrum called upon once again. Every penalty seems to be, which is not in a kicking position, is being called as a scrum by the Pete Wright players. Interesting to see that they think they can run it from here as well. Shows just how much confidence they have. BMD Pereira moving from the number 8 position back into his position at centre. Anuradha Herath, a very versatile player. Virat Kohli runs it, gives it to BMD Pereira, who gives it a bit of a thump, but that's not a great kick. But that's exactly how they scored the last time around. Direx was hoping for a little bit more luck, but not to happen this time. Ranavira was alert to the danger. So Royal will want to get some points on the board before we close the half. We've got about 5 minutes plus injury time left in this half. Muthalif once again will need to get it spot on like they did last time. But again, good work at the front by St. Peter's, spoiling that ball for Vanigasurya. That's not a great kick, straight into the hands of Bhanuka. The ball's knocked forward, and the referee bringing it back for the knock-on. And he says the knock-on at the front of that line-out was what he's bringing it for. Now, people may argue that there was enough play that happened to make sure that St. Peter's got the advantage for the knock-on. Playing so many phases after the knock-on was not something that the referee should probably have done. Let the play go on. They had a chance to clear their lines, but this is Virat Kohli. Goes to Jerome. Looping round is BMD Pereira. Good tackle once again by Devin De Silva. It's been good in defense. Ranchigoda knocks that ball on, and that's the first real bad mistake we've seen from Ranchigoda on that wing. Dixon combining well with both his wingers, Direx and Ranchigoda. And he has been a real live wire, attacking this line at pace, taking the ball with some good attacking lines. Royal look like they want to run this one. They've got their fullback Bhanuka up in the line as well. They've got their blindside winger also. That was Udavatta, who has moved off the right flank. Nicely done by Peiris. That's a shocker. That's a shame. Real shame, because it looked like they really had it on there. But no advantage coming. So the referee says we'll give you a penalty. It'll be interesting to see what Rimzi Jamaldeen does here. It's still 14-3. It's not 40 points to 3. So they might want to take the kick, which is exactly what he does. So good thinking there by Jamaldeen. 14 points to 6 going into the half reads much better than 14 points to 3. Means they're only 11 points down and a couple more penalties, and they're back within striking distance. So good work there by the Royal College defence. They say defence is the best form of attack. Actually, they say attack is the best form of defence, but the reverse is sometimes true as well. It's been a good, aggressive half of tackling from Royal. If they can sustain this into the second half as well, I think the game might open up a little bit more for them, because the St. Peter's lads would be looking to run the ball, and they will be tiring. They've been playing a lot of rugby in their own half too, trying to run it out, and they've been scrummaging a lot against a heavier set of forwards. So you never know. This St. Peter's team might tire a little bit. Jamaldeen strikes it well. And yes, it's over. This is the strength for our college, of course, the kicking of Jamaldeen. They just need to get within striking distance to enable them to use it. And that's what they haven't been able to do with much success, because their line out has been a bit shambolic.
With that penalty, Royal College has scored 6 points.
So good work for the Royalists. They've got some reward for their efforts, and Peters will want to strike back before the half, as we see Jerome kicking off the restart. Nicely taken once again. Hanifa rumbles it up. That's a good run by Hanifa. You've got to let the tackler release. This is Abe Sekara, who's given away a few penalties already. You've got to allow the player to go to ground and release him before you actually try and play the ball. So that's good work from Hanifa, who took that ball up from the kickoff. Restarts are such an important facet of this game, and it seems that Royal have been nicely drilled. Jamaldeen once again treading that touchline, and with absolutely no angle to work for, he has done his team a lot of favors. So he'll want to win a penalty at least from here. But once again, Mutalif will have to make sure that he puts this ball into a position where his jumper, that's either Dinat Karunaratna or Veerasurya, will be able to catch this ball. He's probably going to number 2. They go to 4. But again, a shocking throw. Closing the gap, says the referee, so they'll probably give a free kick to Royal. They get it. Should take it quickly. They want the scrum. Jamaldeen calls for the scrum. This is interesting tactics from both teams. Every time they get the free kick or the penalty, they're calling for the scrum. Royal will want to exert some pressure on these Peterite forwards and tire them out by putting some pressure in the scrum. Peterites, of course, want to suck in the big Royal forwards and create space out wide. So different reasons for both teams in opting for the scrum, but still, if it seems to work for them, let's go for it. This will be
Another good one from Royal College.
a good scrum, but the referee bringing it back for a penalty. Probably could have paid a little bit of advantage there, because it was a penalty advantage. Might have wanted to see whether Royal can get it out to their backs and swing it, but that was not what happened there. And another chance for Jamaldeen to get this team within 5 points of St. Peter's. So despite starting off brilliantly in the last 10 minutes of the half or so, St. Peter's have suffered a little bit. The Royal team getting a little bit together, getting settled, realizing what their game plan is and sticking to it, and they've had a little bit more ball as well in the Peter's half. So this is a very important kick for Jamaldeen, probably an easier kick than the last one he had. So let's see whether he can get this one over. Hush comes around the St. Peter's College grounds. It's good to see the home team also allowing the kicker to take his time. Jamaldeen just pulling it wide of the left hand upright, and that was the halftime whistle of referee Charit Kodagada. They're going to halftime at 14 points to 6 instead of 14-9, which they would dearly have loved. So it's been a very interesting half of rugby. 2 bad mistakes from Royal resulting in 14 points to St. Peter's, and it has been an outstanding display of aggressive defense from this Royal College team. They have done very, very well, but St. Peter's with some really dangerous